Good morning everyone. In this video we will see fourth module, and first topic in fourth module is about classes and object. So first we will see programmer defined types, and then we will see the attributes of the classes. So classes and objects, functions to organize code, and built-in types to organize data. It's like classes are used for organizing data and its functions in one format, and object-oriented program is the next level for organizing this code in a proper structured way, where you can write single code as a class and it can have data and functions. Multiple objects can be created and we can implement multiple objects in one class, as well as we can organize code and data in a format, means in a proper format, so that coding looks more efficient and easy. So here we will see how programmer defined types will look like. So we all know Python has many built-in types and modules. So points, like this is like classes and objects is one of the one more type of built-in types, where we'll take an example called points, which has two-dimensional space. It is like our graph, which has x coordinator and y coordinator. So together x and y value we consider it as pointer. There are several ways that to represent points in Python we can make use of. So we could store the coordinators separately in two variables, x and y, or we can make use of data types like list, tuples, and so on. Like we can use list and tuples so that we can store the values of x and y in a same variable name but two different values. Or we could create new data type called object for points. So if you want to create an object, first you have to define class. So class is a programmer defined data type, and in the class we can represent any values. So whatever values you represent in class, once you create an object, it will be given with a life, means it is given with a memory space once you create an object. How many objects, means how many number of objects are created, those many spaces in the memory will be allotted for those x and y coordinators with respect to object name. See here, in the class we have x and y value. Once you define an object, then x value and y value from the class point with object reference name blank is allocated. So this is our object diagram. So header indicates the new class called point. Body is doc string that explains what the class is for, and you can define variables and methods inside the class definition. So class header always starts with new class called point. So this is the class point, and body represent what you have inside. So it can have the number of strings, means number of methods or variables defined, as well as number of comment lines. So this doc string will represent what is there inside the class, means it is like information to the developer what he has stored, so that he can keep track what is there in the class. And then we can have multiple variables defined and multiple methods, means functions defined inside the class. Next one is like once you define a class, how you create object for it. So defining class means class, the keyword class, and the name for a class. So if I take the name of the class and give an IDLE window, it will show class main and the name of the class. So in this example it is showing class main point. So because point is defined as top level and its full name is main point means there is no main function. So class point itself is declared as the main top level method or top level initiation. So it is called as main point. If you have main function written separately, then it will be shown as class point. So coming to the class and object. Object is a factor that creates physical space for the class. To create object, we have to give object name which is equal to point class name with as function. So class name as function in the sense, from the previous example, the class is point. So here class name is point. So blank is an object which is equal to class name as function. So open brace and close brace represents function. So if I give blank in our editor window, then it shows main. Since the class of point was main, the object point will also be main object for the class, and it shows the place or the memory address where the object blank is created. So it returns a reference to a point object which is assigned to the blank. Creating a new object is called instantiation, and object which is created is called instance of the class. So every object is an instance of some classes. So object is instance or interreachable. So next topic is attributes. So we all saw how to create, how to write the class, how to write variables inside the class, and how to create instance of a class called object. Now you can assign values to the attributes in the class. So here in the class we had, so if I take the example class, we had the variables x and y. For the class we have allocated with an object or instance. So with the name of instance, we can allocate values to the attributes, or we can allocate values to the variables in the class from the object. So object name dot variable name which is equal to value. This is the procedure for allocating values to the instance using dot notation. So blank is a object name, dot x is equal to 3.2. So x value in the blank instance is 3.0 and blank dot y is equal to 4.0. This syntax is similar to the syntax for selecting variables from modules, so like math.py, string.whitespace and so on. So in this case we are assigning values to named element of an object. These elements are called as attributes. So if you want to fetch the values from attributes, then we can directly give instance name dot variable name, so it will give you value, or we can assign that value to the one more variable like x is equal to blank dot x, and then we can take the value of x attribute. Next is you can use dot notation as a part of an expression, like while using expression, like you are using it in a print statement or you are using it for any mathematical expressions, then we can make use of dot object or dot notation for accessing the values from the object. Like blank dot x will get you the value of x from blank object, and blank dot y will get you the value of y from the blank object. So see here, %g will fetch you the integer value of %blank dot x comma blank dot y, which is printed as 3.0 and 3.4. Or to calculate distance, mark square root blank dot x into multiplication means integer multiplication with 2 plus blank dot y integer multiplication with 2 will fetch you the distance from distance for for the coordinators 3.0 and 4.0. So I hope you understood the topic. Thank you.